Hello everyone, that's another long awaited video of mine, but today we're going over the Royal Paladin deck profile. This is the Alpha deck profile which contains the typical blaster rush, so there is nothing new, but I would still like to go over it because there are some choices that are made and I'll kind of explain why these choices are made, but they're kind of explanatory, but whatever. So for starter we have Elrond. Um, it's a really good starter if you have Alfred Vanguard. You can just counterblast one, put in soul, fetch whatever you want, and call it on the rear guard. So no questions asked. He's really good. Now for our main grade three, um, we're playing four here for the monarch and four of the Alfred early. Now why? So Alfred early is really good when you go first. You can pull off your combos really fast and you can just go ham once you ride your Alfred early. I know when I go first, um, my blaster blade is around 30, and then I start swinging flow goals and just standing and just rushing them so hard to the point that they just sometimes just die if I get a critical trigger on top of that. So that's why Alfred early is really good when you're going first. And the monarch about him that he is good either you go first or you go second. But sometimes what happens is that when you're going first with Alfred early, your opponent will hit your blaster blade, it will skill you, they're in the drop zone. With this guy, you can get him back. He doesn't fetch from the deck, but we have been to so many situations where I had to count my blaster blades in my deck that, oh, do I have my enough blaster blades in my deck to pull up my combo? So I'm really not worried about fetching a blaster blade from my deck, and it's either from my soul or from my drop zone. And your blaster blade always have plus 10k and plus 5k shield, so that's amazing. So yep. It's also keep in mind the blaster blade you. Well, some people forget this, but whenever you intercept with your blaster blade, he is like 10k shield. And even if you guard it with the blaster blade, it's 10k shield. It says all of your blaster blades on rear guard or guidance request plus 10k plus 5k. Sometimes people tend to forget it, so just pointing it out there. Mm, Now for our grade 2 lineup, obviously we have 4 blaster blade star of the deck. He keeps on standing with the Fogels, he keep on attacking, um, and he's your win con. You will get your powers there, you will win the game with him, keep on standing and stuff. One thing in mind, I definitely like the new art, like this one rather than this one. I prefer him way more than this art. Just my opinion. I love this art. Now there are two combo pieces that we run in our deck for um, the rush going, and some people run this card as 4 and 3, 4 and 3, 3 and 4, but I'm running them as 4-4. So first card is Lu. He gets your rush going even if you're grade 2 or even if you're grade 3 on your on your force markers. He keeps your rush, like he keeps on. If you lack pieces, he will get you the blaster blade from the deck, but you need to have a flow go there. So for that reason, he's really good after you stride because you can fetch whatever you want with the new stride. Yeah, that's why he's really good with that. Um, but if he's on the other circle and you have this guy on the other rear guard, with him you can fetch flow goals and you can boost your Liu to get the blaster blade on the circle with the the force marker. So that way it requires a lot of counterblast, but you will make like 9 attacks with a new stride, which is really good, which is in my opinion it's insane. So yeah, whatever he does is that um, you can put 2 cards from your hand to your soul and you can call 2 high beast. Now it doesn't have to be only Flogels, it could be any high beast. So you can call out a card that lets you counter charges for your counter blast, or you can call out 2 Flogels um, for your attacks and your rush. So he's pretty explanatory card in the community, so I don't need to go over him too much, but just laying out the details. Now for the grade 1 lineup. Hmm, So first of all, I'm gonna put some typical pieces for the grade one lineup. We run four PGs, yes, in the grade one four PGs. Three of the Lien, and one is this one. So three of them sees hella free. You can just soul blast one and protect your pieces, like protect your van. Sees kind of free PG. And this one we run because we are running a G card that lets you search from your deck for a grade one. You can search for her. That way you can stop the Zoa combo, which is like nine. I don't know how many numbers, but if it hits you, you can die, which is unblockable basically. So you can guard with her, and sometimes you run into situations where you don't have a PG, but you have the perfect guard. But that's not enough. So you can call her out and stop the attack that way. So that's the reason why we are running this ratio. And sorry if I'm speaking too not too loud, because I have a policy where I just have to like shut down after, like shut my mouth after like 10 p.m. It's like kind of weird because I'm an international student in Canada and I'm just living here. So now other is that we are running this card, which is Night Square Allen. Um, for this one, you can cut down like one of your grade two and put and run like extra card of something else, and you can replace this guy. I don't know what to run, so I'm running Night Square Allen. But if something good comes along, I'll just replace him. But he's a good card. He lets you maybe like counterblast one, play and draw, but not that great. Now I'm running three of the new Stride Fathers. Definitely, you want to stride. I mean, if you want to bump it up to four, cut down one Allen, and you can just run him as four because striding is really important. And we are running 8 grade 3, so you want to keep those grade 3 anyway before you have markers. Yeah. Or what you can do is you can just remove 2 Allen for Tarna. Like Tarna sees also he or he is really good, but I don't have the access to this card right now, so I'm not running him. Now we have 4 of the Paco. Now he's kind of skill based card, and some people will say, oh, that's really an overkill. That's an extremely overkill. We're running 4 of them. But I definitely prefer 4 because sometimes I'm running really low of counter blast, and I'm just trying to make sure like my deck is like always able to perform that combo consistently and properly. So I need this card anyhow, and that's why I'm running like 4. But you can definitely swap these ratios around. You can just play Tarna, you can play other grade 3s, or you can just go with other grade 1s that they have. But yeah, I'm running 4 Paco. It's a skill based card. You want to think about like later on in your game, you need that soul for your PGs, or you want to use that for your Paga. But with Larus in this deck, this card is basically free. You're putting 2 cards from your hand to your soul, and then you're soul blasting 2 for your counter charging 2. So it's kind of with Larus, it's kind of free. That's how I'm running it. So now for our trigger lineup, we are running. Well, let's get the obvious crit first down the road. 4 Flogulls. Definitely, this card is the only reason why this deck is so good. If this card just goes away, then I don't know why the deck would be good. Like, this is the only reason we are even playing this deck. Floor Paladin Flogel is an amazing card that keeps your blaster bait stand again and again. Sometimes you will have like 40k, 50k with like, and with the new stride, you might even go to like really high numbers. And with this card, you can keep on restanding your blaster blade with like 3 or 4 crits. That is deadly as hell. So definitely for Paladin Frogel. 4. If you don't run this card, don't bother playing this deck. Now we're running 12 crits in the deck. So for the other 4 crits, which is the new one that came out, the new bird, I really love this art. Like, he looks just so elegant. MU Pure Ego. That's a skill based critical. When your Vanguard attacks, you just put him into the soul, you draw a card, and one of your Vanguard gets plus 10k. So plus 1 draw, and then plus 10k. Now, normal 4 crits, Epona, and then we're running 4 heals. These are counter charge heal. The reason, again, the main weakness is the resources. which is a counter blast, and sometimes you might need your soul as well. So C lets you do that. Also, one thing keep in mind that we definitely want to go for the G guards for our new start to get stronger and stronger all the time. So that's why whenever I have my older heals in my hand, I never use them because I want to use them for uh, my G guards, so I can give my power to the new twin sword, so he can attack, so he can reach a really high number. So definitely I'm going for this one. So because if I end up gonna discarding my heal anyway, then why should I play the older heals? Because this one even lets me countercharge or recharge. So that's why I'm playing these. The older heals now. I was about to call them new heals, but no, they're older heals. There's Remedy Angel. So yeah, definitely for that reason I'm playing it. Oops. So that was our um, normal deck, and now I'm gonna go over the G zone. G zone is really really typical, I would say, but definitely some changes. We're running two of the Gensel Peace Saver. Amazing first ride. Um, if he's open in your, I mean, if he's the flipped up unit on your G zone, he also gives your Blaster Blade resist, so you can also protect your Blaster Blades against the Kagero matchup or your other control matchups with the discards or binds or deletes or some, or maybe locks or something like that. Yeah, whenever it attacks, you have a card cut after your blaster. Whenever you attack, you countercharge, and then on the other battle, this unit gets +1 drive, which is really good. And then if you have faced up card in your G zone, it gets +1 critical. And if he's faced up on your G zone, your blaster blades gets resist. It applies to all time, so that's why he's an amazing first stride. Like, he will be always be an amazing first stride. But there is another stride that the new booster set for the premium collection that brought along, which is, I feel like, is the best we have gotten by now, and I appreciate that stride way better than the Gunslot, because sometimes I go into this stride more than the Gunslot, or maybe I just always go into him, which is, there you go, Divine Knight of Twin Sword, Saint Absolute. Now this card for me is I would say he's Alexandros on steroids. It's insanely good. If this card was in Aquaforce, I would definitely play it, because Aquaforce definitely has some pieces issues, but like this card is so good. So you skill, it lets you attack for like 8 or 9 times. I'm pretty sure with the new flow goals and stuff like that, I've done that. So when it attacks, it has to be boosted, so you can put your the critical trigger that gives you +10k, and the power is not gonna be there, but like it's gonna get +10k, right? So it doesn't matter. So when Wild Booster, you counterblast one, you can flip a card from your G's on face up. You can search for a deck up to 2 grade 2s and call them to the rear guard and shuffle your deck. And now those two units that you call, depending on how many cards you have in your G zone faced up, gets +5k. So this stride gets better and better as the game progresses. One thing with this deck, your really typical and stronger win condition relies on really early game. It used to be like that, because when you have your grade 3, you just start swinging them, just attacking them, and as the game progresses, this the deck power getting like, it starts getting lower and lower. It's not that hard anymore. But with this the card, you can stride and you can give them +5k as many cards as you have in your G zone. So I would say this is like a really good card for the like as the game progresses. However, still the deck shines in the early game, but he's there. He's there to support the clan throughout the entire game. So I feel like this is the best stride we have received, because two things you can do. I mean, the combos you can do with this one is that you can attack with your rear guard, you can attack second rear guard, you attack with third time with this one. Now, depending on how many counterblasters you have, you will call 2 grade 2s. Those two could be either your Lu or your Larus. Now, Larus will trigger, he will get out the 2 flow goals. Now, you can attack with the row that is boosted by your flow goal with Liu, counterblast 1, and call a blaster blade on top of that. Then you can attack with your other row with your rear guard. And now you have 2 more or 3 more attacks left. So you made like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and now you have 2 Flogos left, so 7 and 8, because the Flogos gonna restand. And if you have 3 Flogos, you can restand 3 times, but that's gonna cost you lots and lots of counterblast, which is like, this is alone is gonna cost you 1. Lou is gonna go second counterblast, then 3 and 4, maybe 5 counterblast. So that combo requires a lot of resources, but if you can pull it off, it's great. And that's why I'm playing a lot of counter charges, and like Lancelot also counter charges, and there's a great one Paco, he counter charges. So the stuff you can do is insane. So I'm making my deck as consistent as possible instead of going for the other, like, other stuff. Yeah, so definitely 4. He's a great stride, as I'm saying. He's like Alexandros on steroids, if you know Aquaforce. Now, a lot of you might have bought your legend deck, so I'm that's well, that's how I'm playing. I also bought like my legend deck, so I'm playing 4 of the Alfred Holy Saver. Right now, the meta isn't about locking and then stuff like that, so I'm not playing that card who just unlocks everything. I'm not playing Ultima. I know he's really cheap, he's free, and you can search out anything. I don't. Number one, I don't have the card. Number two, I feel like I keep on going into Twin Sword again and again, and I don't use any other strides. It just became like Alexandros now. So for that reason, I'm not playing different strides because I keep on going into the absolute, like the Twin Sword again and again. But he's also good. Like, um, you you counterblast 1 and choose a face down card, and same unit you can face it up, and then your Blaster Blade will perform. It will get plus 3k, and on the first deck it will perform like Twin Drive. So you will get like 5 cards in hand because of him, and then Blaster Blade, stuff like that. So that's the drive checks are pretty deadly. So that's the reason why I'm playing him. So these 3 strides are most important that you think you will ever go into. Any other strides, unless it's meta dependent, you will never go into. So definitely that's why I'm cutting all the fat out and keeping the lean engine together. So my deck is always performing the combos consistently. I don't have choices, but I do have the lean engine, and I'm focusing on that more. So yeah, that's why I'm playing Divine Knight King, Alfred Holy Saver. And lots of you must have bought like the Legend deck, and that card comes in it, so why not? Now that's the only stride side, so there are like only 3 strides, and now all of my G zone is like, oh sorry, I forgot to mention one card. This guy, Predatory Dragon Total Purity Agnos. One thing, I never go into this guy, like never. Like only one time I went into him just because to try how he works. That's it. There is no need for him to go in. So yeah, you can use him. You can also like bump down one of your strides and play like Ultima, but I don't have money for Ultima right now, so I'm not going for that. And I feel like other strides are so powerful, you never go into him anyway. So yeah, he's there. He's there for like maybe make your strides free or something. But yeah, other strides are way powerful than him. Oh yeah, one thing about this card though, you can call as many as cards you from your hand as possible and draw 3 cards. It doesn't mean you empty your whole fucking hand and start bashing the shit out of your opponent. No, if you do that, it's gonna be hard for you to like keep the momentum going. So you can just play 1 card and then draw 3. Or maybe, I don't know if it allows you to not call anything, because it could be 0 cards from your hand. But it sounds kind of dumb, but because it says like call cards from your hand, right? So you might have to call something. Maybe just go for 1 and just draw 3. So that's maximum 2 in your hand. With the drive checks, there are 3. But yeah, don't go like insane, because this is not your win con at all. At least in your raw paladin. But yeah, that's there. See, this card wasn't even that great that I considered it to mention in my deck list. So it's not even that useful, for at least for me. I'm not using him at all. Now for my G zone, I'm playing 2 Marin. He's the J guard that lets you Soul Blast and call a grade 1 or less. Oh, sorry, grade 1 or greater card from your deck to your G zone. Now from this way you can Soul Blast and you can search your deck up to the at 1 PG, this one, and then you can just discard something and just save your ass for the rest of the turn, rest of the game. Oh, sorry, rest of the turn. Sorry. But if this card just goes into the drop zone, well, GG, you can call something else. But sees there, Soul Blast 1 costs something. Definitely. It's a good card. Now, one of the Dismal. Some people will try to attack your Blaster Blade with like huge numbers and then try to attack for some reason. Protect your Blaster Blades. He's there just to protect the pieces. And now, two of her. Never used her. This Counter Blast 1 and just gains plus 5k. For each of your rear cards in the under title. So yeah, it sees work for like Blaster and Alfred both. But yes, you can get up to really big numbers and can save your ass for like a lot of huge numbers. Anyway, so yeah, this was my deck profile. It sounds pretty typical, I know, but right now I'm really enjoying it. I have a playstyle. I really like a rush playstyle. I'm not into like drawing something or being very defensive. I'm really loving this deck right now, even if I'm not winning every single game, but I'm still loving this deck. But right now my win rate has been massively high. A lot of people like the Blaster deck, which is good. I also like it, but I'm not big fan of like OTK combos. I like to interact with my game. That's the reason why I'm playing this deck. So yeah, this was a deck profile for the Royal Paladins, and I might do the new Aqua Force deck profile, which is Blue Wings, but I'm not sure yet. I'm still trying to figure it out. But yeah, this was my deck profile for the Royal Paladin. See you in the next video.